Alright, I figured I'm going to make this on my 2012 Land Rover Range Rover because when I went to do this, I wish somebody had done a video. So, mine had detonation in the back, so I had to, these cylinders were completely gone. As a matter of fact, yeah, when I opened my oil pan, this is pretty much what I found. Connecting rods all bent, destroyed, etc., etc. For these 5 liters, they do not make these sleeves, so I had to have them custom made. And what they ended up using was that LASFL 90 blah 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 cylinder sleeve premium. They're $246 a piece. And let's see, and that's a top hat, so that was able to allow me to keep everything standard size. My crank is going out tomorrow. Got a slight bend in it, and obviously when the last 2 cylinders went, that journal has seen better days. However, when you mic it, it's still pretty close to spec, so hoping they'll be able to weld, fix this, straighten it out a bit for me, save me a little bit of money. But if you're going to do your timing chains, or to check your timing chains, and you need to get in here, this cover and the cover that would be over here are pretty much all you need to remove. And it's just a couple of bolts, couple of bolts, couple of bolts. And the 2 top ones, this one I believe has the fuel line attached to it. These ones have to come out in order for you to be able to pull it back, access the cams, which in my case are sitting way up there, in order to check your timing chains. And then you also have to get behind this cover. Now, in a wonderful world of minimal things having to come off, you can leave this bolt on for your tensioner. It's its own separate unit that you can't really see, but it is. You got to undo 1, 2, and the 3rd one is actually hidden behind here. So you have to undo with these 3 to get to that last bolt that's back there in order to get this off, in order to get off this cover. Obviously you have to pull off the harmonic balancer as well, which was not hard. I don't know where I put mine, but they're either reverse thread or normal thread. In my case, mine was a reverse thread. If you're going to pull off the cylinder heads on this side, you undo these 3. That comes off your oil filter. There's a hidden bolt that's underneath it. All your cylinder head bolts are underneath the cam caps all the way down. You need a special tool to get them out. Well, mine should be sitting around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. If you type in Volkswagen head bolt, you can get one of these. It looks like a Torx. Everything about it looks like a Torx, except the ends are just slightly different. You can modify a Torx bolt. I got one in one of these bags. You can modify one if you shave it down to get it in. But good luck with that. Number 2, when you remove little side drive there, and the drive shaft that would be here, the car will roll. Even I have the transmission still inside that one. Don't know why. When you disconnect all this crap, the car can friggin' roll all by itself, so you should probably keep that in mind. When you're trying to get to your flywheel bolts, which is one of the most pain in the butt parts, you'd be somewhere around here, the drive shaft, there's a heat shield that's bolted on the side. Mine was rusted. I ended up having to cut it away. Sits right here. If you peel that back, you're actually able to get up in there with I used a mirror in my case, and then spun the motor in order to get that off. So that's an easy thing. If you're going to, let's see what else here. That was weird. Oh, high pressure fuel pumps. Let's move that out of the way for now. Give me a second, bear with me to spin this dang thing. Okay. She's heavy. Okay, so dropping the oil pan is a nightmare on this, obviously because the drive shaft runs all the way through. If you're going to do your the high pressure pumps, it's got a fuel line that runs up behind the motor mount that sits here. Definitely easier to remove these two bolts. Top one, getting your alternator out of the way. And then if you're trying to do it on the car, there's actually a piece of plastic, little square piece of plastic right here. If you pull it out, you're actually able to access these two pumps. Another thing that I'm having a hard time with is some videos say Ford Motor Company down, with the little lines pointing up and to the right. Other ones say Ford Motor Company goes towards the top. When I check the lobes on the high pressure fuel pumps, I can't see a difference between the two. I could be wrong. It's no big deal. The other thing is there's no way to drop this pan with the motor inside the car, and I will show you why. So back here on the back end, you'll see here's our pan, here's our block. The cover plate attaches to both, so you have to be able to remove this cover plate. To remove this cover plate, the flywheel needs to be removed out of your way. In order to remove it out of your way, you have to pull the motor out, which is ridiculously stupid, but that's how they decided to do this. Yeah, when you remove your pump, that guy just pops out. It's just an O-ring down on it. It's like nothing too special about that. And here, I'll just give it a quick once around. Oh, for your cover here, absolute pain in the butt bolt to get to. There is one more in the back. It's got the bolts that go down for the cover here. One thing I noticed too, when I went to go do mine, my hood's disconnected, so I can't show you. But at the back end here, I actually removed the whole plastic air breather portion in order to get access to the transmission bolts, which I should probably show the locations of. So let's set this thing back to straight, I guess. Bear with me. It's heavy on the stand. Spin it. There we go. Okay. Surprisingly, my dowels came out pretty easy. But your transmission bolts, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. This guy here is your flywheel position sensor. They have the little locking tool that goes in there. I did not use the locking tool and buy it. If you want to see what that looks like, when you go across these, where is it? There is one that is slightly different. I don't know why I can't find it. Let's see. Oh, right there. See how it's a little bit taller than the rest of them? That is the one that needs to align to the hole. So if you're going through them slightly longer towards the teeth side, that is the one you were looking for. And let's see. Ooh, lifting, I guess. If you do have to pull this out. When I had it in its entirety, the easiest method for me was for the intake, in my case, because it's natural aspirated. I pulled out all the intake bolts, took literal seconds, and then I used the intake bolts, 1, 2, if the cylinder was here, 3 and 4, and that's how I pulled it out. You do have to put a jack under the pan of the transmission. I put a piece of pretty thick rubber mat underneath it. You do not need to lift up that much on the transmission to get this to decouple. One of the things, though, which you will need to do, is on this side, and I forget which two it was. These are for the main bearings going through the side. I'm pretty sure it was these two up here. There was a plate, and the transmission cooling lines and stuff were attached here. You got to make sure you disconnect this so you can get the motor out. Otherwise, all the weight's going to be on your lines. That's what happened to me. And I'm semi-worried that I pinched the line doing it. I guess I'll get this out of the way in case I already have that bolt out, so getting the rest out is no big deal. When mine exploded, the tensioner here came out, so I actually just drilled it and tapped it and made my own shoulder screw to hold all this together. These little oil jets are actually pressurized when you take them out. They're hollow, and you can see there's tiny little holes down in the bottom. It's like you should probably want to keep those. I got a brand new oil pump and stuff in mine right now down at the bottom. You can't get to the pump without pulling the pan. There's no way of doing it. You can't drill a hole in the front. Try to get that thing undone. They should have made this a 2-part sprocket. Probably would have made everyone's life a million times easier. One of the things you'll see here is, yours probably doesn't have it. This is drilled and tapped. I actually drilled and tapped my other chain guide so I could pull this out of the way and then thread it and keep it out of the way when I was down here trying to get the chain back on. That's before I realized that I was missing 2 cylinders in the back. What else is weird on this? That's pretty much it for the most part. Pumps. Yeah, it's a giant pain to get this thing out. But once it's out, it's not that bad to work on. So I'm just going to do a slow move around in case there's a specific spot or thing that you're wanting to see. Because sometimes that's what you need. Obviously, I'm still missing the exhaust headers right now and the engine mounts. But this will at least let you potentially count bolt holes or figure out that guy. I was able to leave the AC compressor and the power steering pump, which, mind you, if you're trying to get the power steering pump, there is, when the pump's sitting here, there is a hidden screw on the side you gotta get. Can't remember. I think it's on the cylinder head. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was this. I had to do something over here for the power steering pump. This is getting new seats machined, and then this is getting repaired. New valves, lapped them all. A little plastic guy that runs across the back is for coolant. This is nothing. Don't know what that's for. Coolant temperature sensor is there. This is knock sensors. Go here, here, and if my head was over here, here, and here. That is it. It's a full look. I have another video of everything that's going on in here. If you want to see what it looks like. Oh, yeah. Oil pan too. Don't forget there's 2 hidden bolts on the bottom here. And that is it. There's a whole bunch for the oil pan underneath. And like I said, same thing. These actually go in and connect to your main bearings, which are buried way back there. You also need that special Volkswagen header bolt tool to remove your bearing caps if need be. So hopefully this gives you a better look at what this motor looks like actually kind of taken apart. Most of the business end, I'd say, is over on this side with the fuel pumps, the 2 of 3 starter. This is that air line. I don't know what that thing's for. It's a clear air line. Runs up to the top there. That's your signal, main power that comes in. Anything else back here? This little plastic clip, I'm pretty sure, was for the airline. Yeah, if you get the alternator out of the way, though, when you go to do this, it makes this getting to these a million times easier. Alrighty. Enjoy.